Hey everyone, here we are at Wizard World Comic Con. Who are they? Real talk. And today we are here to talk with the great Samm Levine.
Oh my goodness, the great Samm Levine. Did my mother send you?
No, and I have a high opinion of you, and you'll see why after a few questions. Well, first off, I want to congratulate you on your engagement.
Thank you very much.
We're big Schmoedown fans, so.
I was gonna say by that question you kind of figured.
Yeah. But so. Even though we're Schmoedown fans, we do have a few non-Schmoedown questions. But first off, what was it like working with Quentin Tarantino?
Quentin is a genius, just straight up. Every day on set with him is the most fun I've ever had because he does a thing where, we'll do a take 20 times and he'll, finally we'll get it. He'll say, okay, that's great, we got it, but we're going to go one more time. And why? And then everyone on set in unison knows to say, because we love making movies. And that's the sort of infectious attitude that he brings to all of his sets, and it's incredible.
Well, there is a guest appearance of yours I'm actually a big fan of. So I have a question for you. Does he look like Brian Affleck?
My God, it's Brian Affleck.
I get that a lot, apparently.
You do one episode of a show. Now, here's the funny thing about that. In the television world, when a new show is on TV, usually they've shot about 7 or 8 episodes before it starts airing. So you don't know what the show's going to be if you're in one of those episodes. You don't know if the show's going to be a runaway hit or if it's just going to get canceled before your episode airs. So I was in, I think that's like episode 6 or 5 of that show. It had not aired on TV yet. So I was just like, yeah, this will be a fun, goofy thing I do with Siegel and whatever. It'll be silly. And here we are 15 years later, and that is still one of the most popular small guest starring roles that people love to ask me about all the time. And I guess it's thanks to that show being enormously successful and in syndication.
Well, I'm a big Clyder fan, Schmoedown fan. I remember watching your one-on-one with Christian Harloff, and I remember you saying you used to do stand-up as a kid.
That's true.
Have you ever thought about going back into stand-up?
I've dipped my toe into the water here and there over the last few years, but here's the thing. It's really a lot of hard work to be a good stand-up, and you also need to have, I think, a lot of great talent. And I am not that talented, and I'm really just not willing to put the work in anymore. So it's probably not going to happen, but you never know. Look at Judd Apatow. Walked away from stand-up for like 20-something years, came back in his 40s, and now he's crushing it. So never say never.
Fair enough. Well, there is one show of yours that aired on NBC that was tragically short-lived that a lot of people are...
Sure. Do no harm. The old medical drama. Everyone wants to know about... Oh, you were definitely talking about something else, weren't you?
Freaks.
I see.
With the announcement of Peacock, has there been any word of a possible...
No, and I'll tell you why. NBC does not own that property.
Really?
I don't even know who actually owns it right now. Last I heard, Paramount owned the rights to it. So they're also doing a streaming service. So assuming they even still own the rights, that's where you would look for it. But I don't know. They don't tell me these things. But look, it kills me that Freaks and Geeks is not available via streaming right now. Nope, gone for a while. So at this point, I don't know where people can see it, but the DVDs are still available. So if you have a grandparent who doesn't use their DVD player anymore, borrow it. And that's the best way to watch the show right now. As far as reunions or anything like that, not to my knowledge.
Fair enough. All right, now here we're just going to get into a ton of Schmoedown because you are, in my humble opinion, the GOAT.
I wear a lot of Dan Merle gear, I'm not going to lie.
I don't blame you. That guy is amazing.
But you famously retired, yes. And you were the first double-belted champion. Yes. Just, have you ever... I know Christian mentioned earlier in the year when Robert Meyer Burnett had his match that managers who have an open spot might be able to compete. Has there been any idea, inkling, want to just get back in there?
Not for me. I felt very, very good about the way I ended my career as a player. And I'm really enjoying the managing stuff right now. I've had a lot of really great conversations with Janine the Machine, with the Drews, Andrew and Drew McQueenie in the family, and I don't know. I'm having too much fun doing that. So.
And I know they actually have a live match tomorrow. It was. I know that was originally just like pushed back.
There were some health issues, and at the end of the day, we want everybody to be healthy. So it was the schedule was changed because of that, and I would love to be there. Unfortunately, I was already committed to being here, and I couldn't bail on a whole weekend to be there for 90 minutes. But I will certainly be cheering those guys on from my table here in Cleveland.
Well, fortunately, it looks like we do have to wrap up, but I do want to say thank you for not only being here, but for coming back to Schmoedown. We missed you a lot. So.
Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you.
One quick question I know you can answer for me.
All right, hit me.
Who's the real GOAT, you or mine?
You know what? That's not for us to decide. It's for the fans to decide.
Thank you, Mr. Levine.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure, guys.